Introducing change. How do you introduce change? How fast do you introduce it? What are the challenges to introducing change? And what are some of the things that you as a business owner can look at to smooth the way for change to be introduced into your company, whether it be the launch of a new product, be the launch of a new service, or even introducing change within inside your company. Here's a model that might give you some ideas to make it easy to introduce change within your company. It's a typical bell curve, and it's called the diffusion of innovation. And what we have down on the left-hand side is we've got the thing called new adopters, and then we just come out here into the peak of the bell curve, and then we drop away to the people that are not going to embrace change at all. So the first part we need to worry about is this part down here, and this is according to the market research, and there's a great body of research around this. And if you search on Uncle Google, you'll be able to look around it under the heading of diffusion of innovation and get some more reading, more white papers, just to see how you can introduce this into your company or how you need to be concerned about it for your company. This is 3% of the people that are going to be embracing new innovations, and these are actually called the innovators. And typically these would be the people that are the first ones camped out when there's a new technology, a new telephone, a new bit of software that's released. These are the ones that camp outside the stores for 3 or 4 days, bearing the cold winds and the rain and lack of food and lack of sleep and sleeping on hard cement, just to get hold of the latest bit of technology, whether it be a phone, whether it be software, whether it be whatever the service is. Some people, sometimes you see this when we have the special sales by some shops around the festive season. So this is 3% of the marketplace, and they're called the innovators. The next major group that you have, and this is where you're starting to see the growth cycle increase, this is 13% of your total marketplace, and this segment here is called the early adopters. And these early adopters are the ones that are looking at the innovators and saying, is it a safe product? Is it a safe bit of software? I'm going to look at other people that have gone before me, and these people, although they want to have the newest and greatest and latest, they're not going to be out there in the marketplace being the first to pay a premium price. They might wait for a peak in the price point. They might say that the price is a little bit too hard, or it may be that the conditions are, I might have to wait too long, I might have to go into a waiting list, and they're not going to be too keen about that. So that's the early adopters. But by far, the biggest two segments is this segment here, and there's 34% in this segment here, and this part here is the early majority. And this group here is keen to buy. It's the biggest segment of growth. It's where this is where you're going to carve yourself out a great slice of new customers or new profits if you're able to actually access this with the strategies that you've got for introducing new customers or new services into your business. This group here, this 34%, is always going to be looking at this 16% here, the 13% for early adopters and the innovators, just to see what are the risks, what's the downside. The next group is also a 34% slice of the market, and these are the late majority. These people, you're now starting to come off the back of the rise. You're now starting to see that they've looked at the early majority, the early adopters, the innovators, just to make sure that that technology is safe. Now, some of the companies that have taken advantage of this is when you start seeing these curves drop off, you're starting to see, well, what do we need to do to reinvigorate our products? And a couple of decades ago, there was a company that used to make a product called Dolby. And I'm not the expert on it, but it's a great model to just give you a thought process. They came out with a product called Dolby A, and there was a great rush around it, and people embraced this new sound quality technology. And a couple of years later, a lot of the marketplace have now embraced this standard of quality. So the company is now looking for what are some ways that we can be innovative. So they went out and did a lot more market research, and they made more enhancements to their software, to their products, and they created what's called Dolby B. So they had Dolby A, then moved into an iteration called Dolby B, and within a couple of years of that, we moved over to Dolby C. Then we had more innovation coming in and other competitors entering into the marketplace, and there was introductions to quadraphonic sound, and then they moved forward yet again to the 4-speaker surround sound systems, and then you had digital sound, and then you had just introductions of new technology, and new technology. Now, some people embrace this very quickly, but when you see the marketplace flattening off, you need to be looking at your business and saying, well, what do I need to do to reinvigorate my sales? Now, the last little bit down here, this last 16%, this is the laggards. This is not the segment that you want to be marketing to. It is a strong segment. It's 16% of the market, but it's not the best segment you want to be going for. These are the two segments where most of the money is going to be made and most of the easy sales. So this is an idea that you can use when you're wanting to introduce new services or products into your business. But this is not just the only way of thinking about it for services or products. This is also some of the things you need to be considering when you want to introduce change into your company. And you want to be looking, well, who's going to be embracing these new products, and who's going to be embracing the policy and procedures, who's going to be looking at the way we're going to open a new factory, or the way we're going to start a second shift. Who are going to be the early innovators? They're going to accept it and look at it very keenly and enthusiastically. Who are the people that are going to be the early adopters and embrace it and talk positively about it? These are the glass half full people. These are the people here that are going to be a little bit more skeptical about, is it something that I want to get involved in? And they will be looking at this group very carefully, just make sure that it is that they want to back it. This is the late majority. They'll only do this if they really have to. These are the glass half full people. And they could also be termed as your blockers. Some people are going to be the enablers, some people are going to be the blockers. As the owner or manager of your business, you're going to make sure you want to put your time and effort into how do you get this new change process into your business. So this is a tool called the Diffusion of Innovation. I use it with my clients. I hope it will be of value to you. Sit down, have a think about your business when you want to introduce change or new products into your business. And I wish you all the best and great success with the tool.